Okay, I know this is a dumb idea, but I'm a stupid person, so deal with it. I want to know how long it took for all the Infinity Train characters to touch grass. You may hear me say that and think I'm the one that needs to touch grass, and you'd be absolutely right, I do. Before we start, this video was inspired by a video by Mr. TARDIS on how long it took each Doctor from Doctor Who to touch grass. As for the characters I'll be counting, it's just gonna be all the main characters from each book, as in the ones on the poster, plus Amelia and the cats. As for what counts as touching grass, it doesn't need to be skin to grass contact, just standing on it in shoes counts as well. As for how I'll calculate the time, I'll just start the clock the moment they first appear on screen and end it as soon as they touch grass, although I will be removing the time off from the show's intro and credits. And there are two characters where I will have to slightly change the rules, and I'll explain that a bit later. If we can't see that a character is touching grass, but a later shot shows that they were, we count them as touching grass in the earlier shot. So let's begin. Well, this is interesting. The character whose main hobby is being on a computer, Tulip has a time of 8 frames. That's gonna be very hard to beat. The ball takes significantly longer than his gamer pal. He starts out in snow, then a white grid, then the wasteland, and a whole bunch of other cars where there is just no grass at all. And Tulip's carrying him all the time anyway, so it wouldn't count. But finally in the beach car, Tulip stops holding him and we see him finally touch grass, with a final time of 8 minutes and 7 seconds. Okay, this is kinda cheating, but I guess Tulip has been beating. Samantha / the cat is on top with a total time of nothing. She's touching grass straight away. Atticus gives the quickest time that's actually fair so far. We first see him on his little stand, but 39 seconds later, he'd be touching that wonderful grass. Amelia is first shown out of her mech suit in this scene. A scene that lasts 46 seconds before we cut to lots of people touching grass, and among them is Amelia. Now Lake was one of those characters I'm going to time differently. First off, I'm not going to count any time we see her as simply Tulip's reflection in earlier episodes, and I'm also not going to count all the remaining time in season 1 in which she doesn't appear. So the timer goes on pause as soon as she goes off screen in the chrome car, and restarts as soon as she comes back on screen in the black market car. We'll start the clock as soon as Tulip actually notices her. There's no grass touching in the chrome car, obviously, but very shortly into book 2, we get some grass touching, with a total time of 10 minutes and 14 seconds. Now Jesse took a very long time to touch grass. He spends 2 episodes surrounded by old trees, but no grass, just dead leaves. Then he's surrounded by paper, so I guess more dead trees. But at the start of the Toad car, he finally stands by the door, and hey, look at that, grass. Jesse is now at rock bottom with 24 minutes and 27 seconds. God himself also took quite a while, but like Jesse, he finally reaches the glorious grass at the start of the Toad car, resulting in a time of 28 minutes and 24 seconds. So yeah, Jesse wasn't at rock bottom for that long. Now, just like the cat, Grace is shown touching grass as soon as she appears on screen. It doesn't look very much like grass because of the lighting, but the ground here is definitely grass. This isn't floor. So Grace goes right up to the top with the kitty cat with a time of nothing. Simon, however, goes the entirety of his time in book 2 without touching any grass. But at the start of the jungle car, we see this, which it's hard to tell if he's touching grass or just the tree roots, but a few seconds later he's standing up and is most definitely standing on the grass now. 20 minutes, 15 seconds. Tuba is another character who is touching grass in 0 time. As for Hazel, she's tied with Tulip with 8 frames. That's a crazy coincidence. As for my favorite little gays, Ryan and Min are very quick to touch the grass. They're little babies, they're a little shh, and then Min is touching grass in 19 seconds, and Ryan quickly joins him at 34 seconds. And Kez. Well, Kez has a time of 0. Not because she's immediately touching grass, but because there's no time to record. Throughout the entirety of book 4, Kez never touches grass. She spends most of her time floating, but never, ever lands on grass. Now you may be wondering, why did I do this? Well, my answer is, I don't fucking know.